Hi guys, I'm Julia, Manager of Operations for Whiskers Laces. I'm here today with our CEO, Kyle Groth, and the artist, Michelle Drummond, who we commissioned and collaborated with to do this piece. I say collaborated with, but we did nothing except to give her those pieces.
We witnessed it.
Yeah, so, and here we are. All right, so Michelle, I was thinking, what if you want to just kind of give like a backstory of yourself, really quickly, like introduce yourself?
So I'm a contemporary mixed media fiber artist, and this wasn't planned at all. I came here from Jamaica about 26 years ago. I really was introduced to art in high school in Jamaica. Growing up in Jamaica, there were peddlers coming around. They would make handmade domestic tools, brooms, what you can think of. And they'll come around in their push carts. And I would see them in the carts, some beautifully colored artwork. And I was like, wow, these are great, like birds, plants, tropical birds and just crafts. And it was made from, especially the birds were made from strings and nails. And that's what actually, gave me the idea of that linear form. For my entire senior year, I did art classes. And it was not until I did a sculpting class that I discovered the medium and what aspect of fine art that I would pursue. So I kind of emulated the linear form from what I remembered in Jamaica. And it was so well received. I created a bust of a girl with a mountain in the background, with nails and strings and wood. And everyone's like, whoa, this is amazing. I was like, ooh, I think I hit on something.
Yeah.
So I ran with it. And I did a lot of trial and error, and I started getting better and better. And I would create pieces and give them away to my friends. But it was a hobby. I was I was in the corporate industry and just using art as an outlet.
Right.
And then one day, after working in project management in a federal arena, I noticed it wasn't gratifying. I always wanted to move closer to home and environment and, really pursue my art because that's where it felt more gratifying. And at peace, it's like, where would be the most ideal place to create? And then for some reason, I did research, I Googled, art community, South Florida, and Delray Beach popped up. And I was like, how have I not heard of Delray Beach? It's quaint, artsy community. So I actually flew down here right after New Year's in 2018.
Okay.
And the minute I hit Delray, that community, historical, artsy, light feel, I was like, okay, this is the place.
Yeah.
So that's where it started. And by July 1st of 2018, I moved down here.
Wow.
And between my moving here in 2018 to now, I went from creating 2D on canvas that emulated a 3D form to 3D sculptures.
Right. Was it still kind of 2D, or would you still consider that 3D?
It's 3D, but 3D on canvas, but not, I would say 2.5D because it's not necessarily that raised. These are really, 3D, really coming off the canvas.
That's actually so cool too about the Jamaican thing, because I know that we talked about you kind of like got the colors and the vibrancy of like your work from the pieces that you saw in Jamaica, but I didn't realize the nail and the yarn and stuff. Yeah, like it was basically everything like your hometown is like in your pieces. So I think that's incredible.
Yeah, it's my work, I normally tell people, it's really a reflection of my heritage.
Right. Yeah.
Where I'm from, we're tenacious, vibrant, fun-loving, confident people, and it shows in my work. But I must say that my pieces are also influenced by my journey here in the U.S. So a lot of my experiences, challenges, you know, joy, sadness, it comes out in my pieces. So each piece has a story behind it.
I think it's interesting we both started our journeys. You came here in 2018. We launched as well in 2018, so we were both kind of experimenting in the string and shoelace world and came into in Delray Beach at the same time.
There's so many, you never know, similarities in our journey.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that we are sitting here right now talking about this. You know, and just you know, working with you guys and your material, that helped me to even push, you know, and challenge myself and my craft, you know, to another limit. Because, you know, the material that's used to make your product is slightly different from what I use. I use cotton fiber.
Right.
And your material is, you know, plastic, you know, eco-friendly, reusable material. And I had to figure out, how do I manipulate your product and use that to create, you know, something similar to what I create. So, but I like the fact that, you know, I can think outside the box.
Right.
And that's what my work is also about, thinking outside the box. How do I use different materials to fiber to create art?
And that's what really drew us to you as well. I think when we discovered your work, the more we learned about your art and your background, where you came from, the more excited we got. Just because from day one, that's what we've always preached, right? Was self-expression. We wanted to back people that are kind of living the life that we preach every day. And so we were excited to kind of kick off this first collaboration with you. One, not only your art being so perfect for what we do, but also you being local. And it's a local collaboration for us.
I was excited because it's a new venture. You know, I looked at you know, a friend of mine, you know, introduced me to you, and then I looked at your product and the colors, everything about it. It's strings, you know, but most, you know, what was interesting and exciting was, you know, the colors that you use. And I said, okay, similar to mine, and it's a new adventure for me. And it would be a challenge also to work with you to create a product that not only appeals to my creativity, but also appeals to your brand and, you know, how you tell the material you're using. You know, so it's more about pushing myself and the material, the fiber, to see how far I can manipulate it and what I can create. And what I can say is, each time I create a piece, like even I created that, you know, in collaboration with you guys, it's an experiment for me. My work and, you know, evolving and growing my craft is about pushing myself to the next level. You know, I believe I'm my only limitation here. And it's also building community. You know, we're all in Delray and we're, you know, working with each other to, you know, so we can all grow together. So that's very good. Yeah.
That was kind of actually one of my questions too, was how did you find this different than working with like your normal stuff? I know that we have, you know, nylon and polyester. I don't know if that affected it so much. It's like, did you have to use different types of glue? Did you find it so much harder because it was like you had to cut up agate off the ends of them?
It was a pleasant experience.
A journey.
A lot of figuring out.
It's a lot of figuring out. It's a lot of experimenting with colors, layering. Okay, what, you know, colors I'm looking to get out of this, and creating and recreating. It really tested my creativity and dexterity, like just using colors, using different material, figuring out how to create a product to both our satisfaction. Because it had to feel right to me, even if you loved it. If it didn't feel right to me, I'm like, this is not happening. Yeah.
We were blown away by what you were able to do just with shoelaces. And that's why we were so excited to get involved with you, because how you create a 3D piece with what we consider just these small kind of subtle pops of color, you create it into this big piece of art. So I love, personally, just the use of color and pattern in it. Like, this is not how my brain works in my world, so seeing how you were able to utilize that, and even the school at the top, utilizing our camo boot laces going into our orange laces and pink and blue, just like, these colors I never would have thought would go well together, just created this ultimate kind of piece of, for us, it's a piece of self-expression, right, and a pop of color, and really showcasing our product, but really your creativity.
Nice.
That's kind of where I was going to go with that. It was that I didn't, the combination thing with what he said is like, had I given you a box of every single lace that we had, and then you come up with this, I would have never imagined that you picked the colors that you did, and it still looks incredible. I also don't like, I mean, we saw your proposal and all that stuff, so we kind of had an idea of what to expect, but I still think it went above and beyond all of our expectations. So, yeah, just round of applause all the way.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so Michelle, if somebody were to want to buy a piece of yours or just check out your pieces, do you have a website or an Instagram page or anything that somebody could check out?
Yeah, sure. I am physically located at Arts Warehouse in Delray Beach, Studio 9. So if you want to see my work, stop by, give me a call. My information is also on Instagram at drum_strings, and I do have a website that really exhibits a lot of my pieces and a little bit more about me, and it's drummondfineart.com.